What if I told you you don't have to work harder or do more to attract a lot of abundance into your life? All you simply have to do is focus and work on your emotional state. Nobody in school taught me this, nobody in my family taught me this, and today in this video I'm gonna share with you exactly what you can do on a daily basis to raise your frequency, to call in awesome experiences, people, business opportunities, this is literally the work that I've been doing over the last 8 years. And I promise you, my friend, this can change your life if you actually apply this. So welcome to my channel. My name is Trevor. This is my journey to consciousness. I believe right now there is a massive shift happening on Earth where a lot of us are realizing the truth about kind of who we are and just the fact that we can create our reality by working on our thoughts, our emotions, our actions. And today I want to focus on the emotions that all of us on Earth experience, man. We have like tough emotions here on this planet. Like we're angry, we're depressed, we're sad, we're crying, and we're frustrated with life, and we're like, universe, like throw me a freaking bone. Like I've been stuck for a while. Like just give me a freaking break. So here's what I've learned about what we can do to raise our frequency, and this really does work. It's not going to be an overnight like hack, but it's going to be a tangible thing you can do every single day, and over time you will see results. All right, so just subscribe down below as well. I have a couple of videos in this video series so far. I'll be sharing a lot more about my journey, a lot more tips and tricks about just what I've been studying over the last 8 years, and it's really helped me a lot. So I want to share a story. I made an awesome video last week for this video series. It came out really well. I watched it a few times when I was at the park, and I was just like, man, I freaking crushed this video. Like I thought it was just so good. Like I don't know why, I just really liked the video I made. And I made a second video the next day. And I went to go on YouTube to post my videos, last week. And what I realized was, by accident, I had deleted the first video because my phone storage got full. So I erased a lot of my past videos. By accident, I erased the video I just recorded. And you should have saw how angry I was. I mean, I was in my closet at my apartment, like throwing stuff and all around. I was really furious. And my wife like got scared because I'm really not very angry like ever. So her seeing me that angry like, kind of scared her, and it was just not a good day. So I had a lot of anger, right? And I was reflecting a lot. Like I was kind of like just reflecting and like thinking back on this experience last weekend about like why I got so angry. Like just a video. It's not like a huge deal. And what I realized was this experience of my video getting deleted actually reminded me of another experience that happened to me about 5 years ago. I used to make a lot of content, around, COVID, 2020, 2019 back then. And I was on YouTube, I was doing a podcast, I was doing Instagram. And one day I woke up, this is around 2020, around the election times, and I was sharing about, my theory, like what I was seeing about COVID. I thought it was a bunch of BS, and I was sharing like, some stuff about why it's like kind of a hoax and everything, and all that stuff that happened that all went down. I was sharing about that stuff, and I woke up one morning to my Instagram account, my podcast, my YouTube. It was all shut down. It was all censored, and I lost all my followers. I lost all of my content, like my videos. I had some backed up on like a hard drive, but I lost a lot of it, and I was so angry when this happened, when I first saw my stuff was deleted. What I realized was this experience I had last weekend with my video getting deleted, which was my fault, of course, right? It was on me. That experience last weekend, I realized it was kind of tied to this prior experience 5-6 years ago. And that's, I think, why I was so angry, because it kind of like reminded me, in a sense, my body was, I felt like it was happening again, as far as like, it was like a familiar pattern in my body, like the emotions were familiar. So this is what can happen, is that when we get triggered, right? So what is a trigger? A trigger is just any kind of experience, any kind of, whatever you go through in life, something might happen to you, and it might cause you to feel a certain way. It might suddenly shift your emotional state. Right, so let's say on average, like we're about here with our frequency, right? There's a scale of consciousness, there's a scale of frequencies where you have at the top, you have enlightenment, you have love, joy, peace. You go down a little bit to like neutrality and like courage, and then you go further and you have like anger, and you have fear, and then at the bottom you have like shame and guilt, right? So if we're on average, let's say like in the middle somewhere, like neutrality, courage, whatever, when we have an experience that brings us down, where we feel all of a sudden very angry, like my experience last weekend, or we feel really sad, we start crying, or we feel a lot of shame and guilt, these are the lower emotions. So a trigger is just an experience or something that happens that brings us down. And we're always able to kind of shift around these emotions, right? Like it's never just we're here forever and this is where we're at. No, it's like one day, one moment we're here, next moment we're over here. It's like we're up and down on the scale. But my point is that if we can begin to become aware of not only how we feel, right? So doing check-ins moment to moment. How do I feel? Oh, I feel a little bit nervous. Okay, why? Because I have to do this thing today. Or I feel a little bit anxious. Okay, why? And we just kind of explore these emotions like I was doing, right? I was so furious last weekend, but then I was questioning. I was saying, Trevor, why were you so angry? It was just a 20-minute video. It's no big deal. You can do it again. But I was so angry. And when I began to question it and sit with it and be curious about it, what happened? Well, that 5 years ago experience where I had my stuff deleted because of big tech and big pharma and all that happened, and well, I realized it was connected. And what this means for me is that I still have to work and I still have to heal emotionally around that experience, around getting my stuff taken down, my videos taken down. That really, for me, was traumatic. You might say, Trevor, that's nothing, but for me it was, because I was younger, I was creating content, I was really passionate about it, and then I had all my stuff just erased. It was tough on me. But when life triggers us and we have these emotions fluctuate and they go down, like they go down as far as we feel more of the low vibe ones, we feel the anger, the shame, the fear. If we have the courage to not only question it and, like I did, try to trace it back, that's powerful. But also, if we can work on allowing it to be there, not trying to judge ourselves and be like, oh, I can't be angry, or I can't feel this emotion. If we can have the courage to feel it, to face it, question it, feel it, and face it, that's how we can literally work through this stuff. And the problem is that we go through society and no one tells us how to handle our emotions. Like for men especially, we're taught, just suck it up, and you gotta be tough. You can't let people see you cry, or you can't be emotional ever. So we have to understand the society, how it's been, influencing us, but also just we have to understand too, like it's new for a lot of our families too, and a lot of our parents and grandparents and people that we've, a lot of our family lines. This work's not been done. The emotional work on earth has not really been happening. And a lot of us, if you're watching this video, you're probably the first one in your family, maybe, like we're the first ones to actually face our emotions. And it's tough because they're so intense and they're so heavy, right? And I've been at rock bottom a lot of times. Like I've hit rock bottom a lot. About maybe 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, when I had my son when he was first born. He's a year and a half now, so it was about a year and a half ago. My job that I had in Arizona, I moved to Texas, and I actually had to, leave that job behind. So I went for a few months with no income, with no job, and I had my credit card rack up, $20,000 on the credit cards, and because I wanted to help with the birth too, and be there for my wife and for my family and everything. But there was a lot of days when I had no job, and I was just helping out as a stay-at-home, father, and I was really depressed. And I would be laying on the ground, like crying and just yelling at the universe and being like, God, like my spirit team, like why are you letting me just have no job? Like I feel like I'm a loser. I feel like I'm falling behind in life. Like what is going on? And I guess I was able to just allow myself to cry and allow myself to be angry and allow myself and just like vent it and just like, let it come out of me. And a lot of us think that if we do cry or we do feel how we feel and we like release, that makes us feel weaker, like we're not good to do that, but we are. And that's how we develop this emotional resilience. Right? So we can't be afraid of our emotions. And here's how you know you're making progress when it comes to your emotional state, right? Like I said, all of us have these different experiences where we feel angry, we feel shame, we feel anxious or whatever. You're gonna make progress in this area when you get triggered and then you feel how you feel, maybe you feel angry or whatever. You're gonna make progress though when the emotion comes up in you, like you feel it, it's there, you're angry or whatever, and then it's gonna fade away. Because emotions are just energy in motion. So people that are not doing this emotional work, what happens is that when they get triggered, they get angry, they get frustrated, whatever, this can last not only hours for them, but it can last days or even weeks, where people are just, they're so upset and they're either in that victim state, like, you know, I've been there too, like where you feel like you're a victim, you feel like the universe is out to get you, like we've all been there. But it's a matter of just being aware of this and having the awareness of like how you feel, being able to go into it, feel it, be curious about it, like I said, ask questions about it to yourself, but then just be able to let it like kind of go through you, right? If we can let it go through us, what's gonna happen is that it's not gonna linger in your body as long. And that's how you'll know, right? Like last night, we had a long drive last night with my family. We came home around like 7 o'clock and there was no parking spots near my apartment. And I got like, I was like, I don't know why, it was a long day yesterday and I was like upset. I was like, freaking no, there's no spots. I had to park kind of like down the road to the side. And I was like a little bit triggered. Like I was a little ticked off. But I went inside, started making some dinner. And before I knew it, I was feeling good again. And that was kind of an experience where like I was aware in my head with my thoughts and my emotions. I was like, you know, telling myself, okay, Trevor, you're a little bit triggered here. You're a little bit angry. That's okay. Let's just breathe. Let's kind of slow down. Let's feel it. And before you know it, it kind of passed through me. I was having a meal with my family. I was having some good dinner. You know, it was a good night. So these emotional triggers, all of us are going to experience them. All of us do experience them. It's a matter of having the courage to go into them, to feel them. Like I said, feel them. What did I say? Feel them, face them, be curious about them, and let them move through us. And what's going to happen is that, like I said before, maybe here we are on the emotional scale. We get triggered, boom, anger, shame, guilt, whatever, right? We feel it, we let it go through us, we process it, and then we go back up to here, right? So we get triggers like this. It's like, back up. Trigger, feel it, process it, rise back up. And over time, it happens faster and faster. And over time also, I believe that our natural state goes higher as well. All right, so if this video gave you some value, definitely follow me down below so you don't miss any content. Thanks for watching, my friend. I will see you very soon. Take care.